God said. Everything that God says will happen. What has God spoken to you? Genesis chapter 1 verse 3. Then God said, let there be light, and there was light. Genesis chapter 1 verse 6 through 7. Then God said, let there be space between the waters to separate the waters of the heavens from the waters of the earth. And that is what happened. In Genesis chapter 1 verse 9, then God said, let the waters beneath the sky flow together into one place, so that dry ground may appear. And that is what happened. Genesis chapter 1 verse 11, then God said, let the land sprout with vegetation, every sort of seed-bearing plant, and trees that grow seed-bearing fruit. And that is what happened. Genesis chapter 1 verse 14 to 15, then God said, let lights appear in the sky to separate the day from the night. And that is what happened. Genesis chapter 1 verse 20-21, then God said, let the waters swarm with fish and other life, let the skies be filled with birds of every kind. 21, so God created great sea creatures and every living thing that scurries and swarms in the water, and every sort of bird. Genesis chapter 1 verse 24, then God said, let the earth produce every sort of animal. And that is what happened. And lastly, in Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 to 27, then God said, let us make human beings in our image to be like us. So God created human beings in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. God said it, and it was so. God said it, and that is exactly what happened. So if God said he created man according to his image, according to his likeness, that's exactly what happened. And when we are created new, the new creation we become, guess what? We are going back to becoming just like our Creator, how he created us to be, just like him. So God spoke it to us, and it is so. In Romans 4:17, we read that God calls those things that are not as if they were. God calls into existence the things that do not exist. I did not exist, not the newborn Eddie, not the regenerated Eddie, not the new creation Eddie, until the Lord called me into existence, and neither did you. And everything that God has done in your life, you're alive today because he has spoken life to you. You are healed today because he has spoken healing to you. You are delivered today and set free from lies that you have believed or people have said about you, because he has delivered you. He has set you free. He came to set the captives free. He came to give sight to the blind. He came to give hearing to the deaf. He came to give a voice to the voiceless. And because of that, we are who we are today. And God has said it. And because he said it, it is so. And it shall happen. And that's what God is telling us today. He's telling us, what have I said to you? What have I spoken to you? Do you believe me? If you believe me, that you can do all things, that nothing can separate you from the love of God, that you are more than a conqueror, that nothing or no one can ever separate you from him. If you believe that, then that's exactly what will happen. God said it, and it shall be so. God said it, and it shall be so.